I basically, gambled the rest of my savings on one product. I bought a lot of units from China, sent everything to a warehouse here in the US, and basically started selling. So after 1 month, the product picked up, and after 1 year struggle, I hit $10,000 in profit from that product. So this was the changing, the most, I think, rewarding period in my life, because that $10,000 was a small amount of money if I look back, but that small $10,000 gave me enough confidence that I can basically figure this out. I can be on my own, and I can pay rent by my rent, and I can also pay, for my groceries. So this was the confidence that I got from that $10,000. And from that point on, I launched more products, more stores. In just 1 year, I was able to scale my stores to 3 million plus in sales.
Hi, and welcome back to the Main Street AI podcast. This is Stephen with Satori Coach IO, and today I'm joined by Zahid Mohammed, founder and CEO of Conzia, a Berlin-based full-service e-commerce agency that helps small and medium-sized sellers scale their online businesses to $1 million and beyond. Conzia has supported over 1,000 online stores across Shopify, Amazon, eBay, Etsy, Walmart, and more, with a team of 30 operating across offices in Berlin, Miami, and Pakistan. Before founding Conzia, Zahid came out of corporate cloud computing, burned out, and jumped into Amazon FBA, where he struggled for a full year before finding a winning product that became the springboard for everything he's built since. Let's dive in. All right, Zahid, great to have you on. And where I'd like to start today is with the pivot in your story, because I think that's part of the story like a lot of people could easily skip over. So reading up on you, you were in corporate cloud computing, you were burnt out, you walked away, then spent a full year struggling on Amazon before you finally landed, kind of found your footing. Could you talk a little bit about what that year was like? And was there a specific moment where something clicked and you just realized, all right, this is going to work and I can build a business around it?
Oh, first of all, Stefan, thank you so much for having me on your show. Definitely, I think I want to talk about this, what was the pivotal moment. So before I do that, I think I'm going to take a little bit, more details. So as you understand correctly, I come from, a technical background, corporate, also tech companies. So I was very frustrated with my full-time job, and that led me to, basically take the biggest decision or the most difficult decision of my life, which was resigning without knowing what I wanted to do with my life. So I quit company, my last company, end of 2018, and with the intention in my mind that I wanted to make $10,000 every single month with my own business. So I was not looking to build up companies or build up multiple businesses. So my only motivation at that time was just to make $10,000, because this was the money that I needed to kind of, survive. So with that intention, with that motivation, I started selling on Amazon with FBA business model, because someone told me like it's a great business model. I did a little bit of research, and I realized I can work from anywhere. So I can work with a laptop, and I don't need a big team. The only thing I need is products. So I started launching products on Amazon platform. I launched multiple products. Unfortunately, I was not successful for 1 whole year, and I lost a lot of money in that year. And eventually I realized, if I don't make money, I'm burning almost all of my savings, and I'll have to go back to my full-time job or find something else. This was, a very tough time, because going back was not an option for me. So fortunately, one of my products picked up. So it was a small product that I was importing from China, selling on Amazon with the inventory-based business model. We can definitely talk more about, dropshipping, Amazon FBA. What exactly are these business models? But I was doing, inventory-based business model. I basically, gambled the rest of my savings on one product. I bought a lot of units from China, sent everything to a warehouse here in the US, and basically started selling. So after 1 month, the product picked up, and after 1 year struggle, I hit $10,000 in profit from that product. So this was the changing, the most, I think, rewarding period in my life, because that $10,000 was a small amount of money if I look back, but that small $10,000 gave me enough confidence that I can basically figure this out. I can be on my own, and I can pay rent my rent, and I can also pay, like for my groceries. So this was the confidence that I got from that $10,000. And from that point on, like I launched more products, more stores. In just 1 year, I was able to scale my stores to 3 million plus in sales. Now I do, like multiple seven figures. Also, I have hundreds of students. I think like this was the most pivotal moment when I made the first 10K.
Yes. And it's such a common theme with these stories, which is why I wanted to talk about it, because although I didn't know the details, I suspected it was something like that, because we see people trying to, branch out with an entrepreneurial venture outside of their day job, and people tend to only see the end result once the success is there, but they don't see the struggle that goes on when you are saying like, hey, I'm running out of savings, or I've maxed out a credit card trying to make this work. And now you're hitting that critical mass period of, can I continue with this or not, or just go back to the regular gig? And that happens a lot. So I think that's really, really good for people to hear that, that there are results that come with persistence, and it's not all, a bed of roses for everybody on the way up. So,
yeah, I think like we fantasize a lot. I think people who are just starting out, like they want to be on their own. I think entrepreneurship is a very, very fancy word. So let me be honest about that. I think I have been on my own for almost 8 years now, built multiple businesses. Some of businesses went down, some of businesses made money, some of businesses lost money. I think this is the part of business, and this is the part of the game. I think like the most important thing is here consistency. Of course, people who are not consistent, they are thinking, like if they will leave their full-time job, the next month, we can also talk about, people build software, people build, they sell e-commerce products. So I think for every business, it takes time. And in most of the cases, these kind of stories I heard from other people as well. I think in most of the cases, the first venture is not the successful venture, right? So either it is building, like an e-commerce store, or building, like a software company or a servicing agency or anything, Sometimes people try 3, 4, 5 times. I think like 70-80% give up after, the first attempt. And then rest of us, like who don't give up, and they come on these kind of podcasts, and they explain their stories as well. So
yeah, I mean, if somebody hits a home run the first time out, that's a gift, but that's not normal. Most of the time it takes a lot of iteration, nimbleness, willing to pivot, just as you did. So that's great. And you built what you call a formula to sell 1 million online. So you got 10 best-selling products, each selling 10 units per day at an average price of $30. And then you get 900,000 in 10 months. So I think that's a very interesting formula. I mean, that really is almost a mathematical framework. How did you develop that model? And when a client comes in who's doing 10,000 a month, how do you actually get them from there to 100,000?
yeah, I think that's a great question. So I am very, very mathematical when it comes to, like launching products. The reason, because I learned early on after, like wasting my first year and also wasting a lot of money, that selling online e-commerce is like a science. So you don't want to go sell products based on your emotions. And then I learned, the analytics behind launching these products, numbers. I think these were some of the things that that came obviously, like with experience as well, with time. So why we have this formula available? So we sell small products. So we sell products that cost under $50. They are, in demand throughout the year. There is nothing sexy. These are all boring products. But these products solve specific problems, and then we price them anywhere between, like $30 to $50. So the average is, like anywhere between $30, $35. And from that point on, we can basically calculate, like how many products, how many units we need every single day to get to $1 million in sales in 1 year. So of course, we are not building anything which is, like quick rich here. So I got a lot of students, like who are selling 1 million plus every single year, but that does not happen, like in the first month. And it's very, very rare. It's very rare that someone starts a store and then, like it starts scaling up to 1 million in the first month. So this is a formula that we have. And in some cases, people never scale to 1 million, which is also fine, right? So they are happy, like making 10, 20, 30K every single month, and they want to stick with that. For them, that is already, like a big achievement. But people who want to go from $10,000 all the way to, like $1 million or plus, I think like I always tell them, know your numbers first. So you will launch approximately 60, 80 different products. If you are doing drop shipping, then you can launch more products. And out of these 60, 80 products, you will have, like 10, 15 bestsellers. And with these bestsellers, what you will do is you will make anywhere, like $7, $8, $9 per item, and you will sell in volume. So e-commerce is the game of volumes. And once you have figured it out, like which products you want to sell, which products are making you money, then it becomes the game of volumes, and it becomes the game of repetition. So you repeat, and then you reinvest. So that is a kind of a cycle that we have, and we have applied this kind of formula, like on a lot of stores, with a lot of our audiences as well, with our customers, on my own stores as well, and with a lot of our students. And we see great results behind this. So when people come to me, I tell them, like, set up a goal how you want to reach to 10K plus as quickly as possible. And once you reach to your 10K, you can also reach to 100K. If you can hit 100K, then you can reach to 1 million as well. And then here is the formula, like just be mathematical and then go all in.
That sounds great. And I think Conzia is interesting because you serve such a wide range of platforms. There's Amazon, Shopify, Etsy, Walmart, eBay, WooCommerce, BigCommerce, Shopee, Flipkart, right? So basically all the major platforms. Most agencies in the space pick one and they go deep on that, but you've deliberately gone wide. What's the logic behind that, the strategy? And does being multi-platform change the type of advice that you give sellers about where to focus?
Yeah, 100%. So we have under Conzia, we have a classical agency model. A classical agency model is, like if we bring in a customer and the customer wants to stick with, like WooCommerce or BigCommerce, we don't advise or we don't force them to, like change the platform, right? So we can provide the marketing service, so which is completely fine. Then of course we cover all platforms, the bigger platforms. So I think this is where, like a classical agency model, like works. It works really, really well. And on the other side, under Conzia, we also have a coaching and consulting educational platform for people who are first-time entrepreneurs, who are building the business first time. And for these kind of people, we suggest them pick up either Amazon FBA if you got some money to invest, or pick up Shopify with dropshipping. I think these are the most suitable platforms for these people. Why? There are multiple reasons as well. If you're running, like a WooCommerce or BigCommerce store, it's a little more complicated. So maybe you have a developer on the team, like he's building it up, fixing everything. On the other side, Shopify, it's all plug-in, like, so you can do a lot of stuff with apps, and then, you can integrate different themes. It's very easy to learn. And if you go Amazon route, Amazon is anyway, like a marketplace, everything is built up there, and then you get a store. So for us, people who are first-time entrepreneurs, they are not big companies, they're not having big teams, we suggest them to stay with Amazon, FBA, or Shopify. And on the other side, classical agency side, where we bring in customers who are already successful, or they want us to take care of their marketing, they want us to, like find them best-selling products, or, like help them increase their sales, whatever platform they are selling on. We stick with that until unless they have a really good motivation to move to another platform.
Excellent. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. You've also talked about using internal sourcing and testing data across thousands of SKUs to help brands find and validate products before they scale.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a real competitive advantage because you're not guessing, you're testing, right? So how does that product research engine actually work inside Conzia, and what does the data tell you about which categories are the most repeatable right now?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. And I think I would love to talk about that. And this is something that I do all the time. I teach people as well. I have hundreds of seminars just on product research. So after after first year, when I was not successful at all, I did, like an analysis of my whole year, all of my launches, and I realized I was in a good industry. I was e-commerce was booming, people were selling, people were making money, but I was selling products based on my emotions or based on other people's recommendations. I was not looking into data. And the first thing I did after I had this realization, I bought a tool which is called Jungle Scout. It's a data analytics tools for specifically for e-commerce products. And I started looking into trends. I started looking into historical charts, and I developed my own kind of models back then. So it was mostly manual. Now we do it with AI. So to cut the story short, so we developed different models where we could, like have different scenarios. We could understand how big is the niche, how much is the competition, how many other sellers are already in this niche, how much money they are making, how many reviews they have. These were all the data points that we were looking into. And now with AI, so what we do is we use ChatGPT, Grok, and Claude, and we have programmed these tools on finding best-selling products. So these tools bring us best-selling products, and then we apply our own models plus a Jungle Scout where we can understand, like the demand, we can understand the growth trends, we can also see if there are already products in our database that were not successful, then we can, like discard these products or niches as well. For example, I figured out very early on, clothing is the most competitive niche. We don't want to sell in clothing, like until unless we are working with a big brand, we don't mind it. But like first time entrepreneurs, I suggest don't sell in clothing products, right? And then some of other risky niches, for example, CBD products, or like items which require months of approvals, a lot of work, or they are risky. For example, CBD and also supplements. These are like no go for us. Why? For first time sellers, right? For first time entrepreneurs. If there is a big company selling these products, they know how to do it, right? But for the first time entrepreneurs, we don't suggest this. So this way we have an internal database of products and niches. We can spot trends very early on. We can see, we can go after trends. And we with the data-based, like launches, with the data-based research, we have 90% plus chances of becoming successful if we launch a new store, which is a huge number in this e-commerce industry.
It's amazing. Yeah.
And how this is possible? Because I spent approximately 8 years in this industry. I have launched hundreds of products, also thousands of products for my own, my students as well. We have, like a huge database of hundreds of thousands of products where we can, like spot these trends very early on. We can look into these numbers. And I think this is the most important thing. Sometimes people underestimate when they are launching a new store. And if you can understand how to do proper product research, this can actually make you very, very successful in e-commerce.
Yeah, that's great information and really tremendous results. You had mentioned AI, so I want to follow up on that. Your Instagram says that you're helping Shopify stores scale to 7+ figures with AI, and you're running free meetups on the topic. So where are you actually deploying AI inside operations, aside from what you just mentioned, and your clients' businesses right now?
Yeah, sure. Again, great question. By the way, I love communities. I build communities because you touched upon, like we are teaching and we are doing seminars. So we have 8,500 people learning with us how to build an online business and how to scale it up with AI. And we do it all free, 100% with our webinars and seminars. And these seminars are on meetup.com where anyone can join without paying us single dollar. What we do is myself and 3 of my other team members, we go on live webinars, we teach people, we teach everything, whatever I said here, right? So what exactly is the process of finding a best-selling products, which products you should not be launching, which products you should be launching. And then we do the whole, process in front of these people. So this way, these people can actually see what exactly we are capable of delivering, right? Coming back to this question, how we deploy AI. So AI starts with the product research whenever we launch a new store. As I mentioned earlier, we deploy 3 tools, ChatGPT, Grok, and Claude. We put these tools to work. We find best-selling products with these tools, and we get a lot of ideas. And then we, funnel, and we understand this data. with some other data analytics tools like Jungle Scout. And after the product is finalized, it's ready, then we build a store. Even for building stores, we use different AI tools, we use different integrations. So basically, Shopify app marketplace is having more than 20,000 apps, and now 60 to 70% of their apps are already using AI.
Right.
So either you use Deezers for product listings, or you use AliExpress. There is an AI tool there that can write your product descriptions. We deploy ChatGPT. You can get, like all the images ready automatically. Higgsfield AI, like for UGC style videos. Then Google Nano Banana, then we have MIT AI. Then we have Gemini as well. So we use approximately 20 plus AI tools in order to set up the store, in order to manage the store. And then also for customer support, we have an AI tool that we can integrate with Shopify. We can program this, and then we can answer, like different questions. We can build different scenarios there. So these are now, like standardized processes, because we understand which AI tools these companies need, and we know the whole AI tech stack, and that is how we deploy it. So from start until, like launch, we use AI tools. And then also with a marketing, we use, like Ad Creative's AI, Nano Banana, Gemini, ChatGPT, Claude as well. So what we have seen, we can basically automate up to 97% of repetitive tasks in e-commerce with AI. And the remaining 3% is mostly decision making, or, like taking care of some complicated things like integrating your payment methods, or taking care of, like your credit card issues, etc. So, but up to 97% of e-com operations we can automate with AI.
It's so fantastic.
And we teach this as well. We teach this live on our meetups, without charging a single dollar, how to do it, how people can do it on their own.
Yeah, that's excellent. You've also made a strong case for drop shipping as an on-ramp. You mentioned that a little bit earlier. So not a final destination, but a way to test products and build momentum before investing in inventory and brand. So that's a counterintuitive take in a market that often looks down on drop shipping. How do you think about the transition from drop shipping to brand? And at what point do you tell a client it's time to make that leap?
It's a great question. I'm happy that you understand, like the fundamentals of, like the inventory based selling and drop shipping as well. I think a lot of people underestimate drop shipping. So there are multi-billion dollar companies. They have their whole business models built upon drop shipping. Very big platforms, right? Very big e-commerce companies. Wayfair is one of them. Very big company. Basically, you can find everything. You can, like also order furniture. Everything is drop shipped there, right? And even there are third-party sellers there. And then we have, like marketplaces like Amazon. They prefer, like FBA. So dropshipping market is going to hit $1 trillion in sales. $1 trillion in sales. That means there is a huge demand. There is a big market out there. I think sometimes people underestimate or misunderstand dropshipping. Dropshipping does not mean that you have a Shopify store, you integrate a bunch of products, and then you start making $10,000, $20,000 right away, right? So I think this is a misunderstanding. Misconception is there because we have, like people telling other people, like, okay, I do drop shipping, and then I bought a Ferrari with drop shipping, and, like I bought a mansion with drop shipping. I'm not saying that these people are not successful people, but dropshipping is a way to test your market. Dropshipping is a way to test your niche, and dropshipping is a way to figure out if you want to be in this brand long enough. And we use it as a tool, and the ultimate brand is Amazon FBA.
Excellent. And also, you recently opened the Miami office as a separate U.S. entity, Conzia Inc., and specifically that's focused on Shopify store owners, if I understand correctly. So that's a deliberate geographic expansion. So why Miami? Why now? And what does that change about how you serve the U.S. market versus running everything from Berlin?
Yeah, so our company is completely, like remote, all digital. I am in a digital space, even though, like we have 3 offices now. Some people have, like an option if they want to go in an office, and then they can either, like do hybrid work or work from home. And I have been in this space for a long time. My only motivation was to, like work online and work anywhere, like everywhere and anywhere, right? So I traveled to 33 countries, building these businesses. Um, Most of our market is the US market. Like the biggest market for us, for our customers, for our students is the US market. I have been selling in the US market for a long time. It's the biggest market, biggest e-commerce market. Why I picked up Miami? I like weather. I like, like the culture here. Like this is something which is, I think, my personal choice. Um, and in terms of, like expansion, 90% of brands that we work with, they are US based brands. I think it helps if you have, like the central place where you are based inside the US. And it helps if it is, like nice weather, like nice food and nice culture as well. So I think that's just a personal reason, Miami. But most of our businesses in the US, most of our customers, they sell in the US. And even if there are European companies, we help them bring towards the US market. I think that is how it helps.
That's great. It's a beautiful thing when you can just say, why Miami? Because I really want to live in Miami.
Yeah, I think that's a personal choice. I think like the beauty of e-commerce is, or I think this is something that I also share with other people. I started this business not big. I mean, of course, money was motivation there. I think there has to be something on top of money as well, because you can also earn money, like working for other people. So at that time, my there were a couple of things I was looking for: location independence, like time independence, and also ability to travel. So I live in different countries at different, like times of the year, depending upon the weather, depending upon, like my mood. So I think this is the best thing that I have. I think that the freedom to travel, to live wherever you want, I think that is the best thing you can achieve with a business model which is digital. So that is why I also tell people, even if you are doing inventory based business, which is Amazon FBA, Amazon is taking care of, like everything. So I tell people, rather than, like you open a restaurant or you pick up something where you are, like stick to the location where you have to stay, like 12 months in a year. You don't like the weather, you don't like politics, or you don't like, like people, I don't know, anything can change, So take your business with you, right? So build something which you can manage from anywhere in the world, right? From any time zone, right? So I think that is the best thing in e-commerce. And that is why, like people love it. So people who are doing drop shipping, I'm not talking about, like everyone is buying Ferrari or everyone is buying Mansion, but there are hundreds and thousands of, there are millions of people who are selling online with Shopify, making anywhere between 10 to 20,000, $30,000. They are free to live anywhere where they want. They can live in, like Spain, they can live in Portugal, they can live, like in Thailand or Bali or wherever. So we don't often talk about, like these small players. We call them micro businesses. And I think this is the backbone of now e-commerce. E-commerce or drop shipping, these are not, like multi-billion dollar companies. There are few, but there are millions of people who are making anywhere between 10 to 30, $40,000 every single month, and they are happy. They will still there. They will stay there. They will not grow to, like 1 million or 2 million a month. Maybe this is not their goal because they are comfortable. They don't want anything more than that.
Right.
But that is kind of a lifestyle business they are setting up. I lived that lifestyle. I'm living that lifestyle, and this is something that I teach it.
Fantastic. And last question. So you've served over 1,000 stores, tested thousands of SKUs, and, or I should say, if we were to look out, fast forward 2 or 3 years, what do you think the e-commerce agency landscape looks like? What kind of seller is thriving? Who's surviving? And how do you think that AI is reshaping how agencies like yours operate?
Yeah, I think like classical agencies, they will die. So let's be honest, because like platforms are changing. So now Meta is having, like all the tools inside their Meta Ads Manager. People, like they can do everything there. I think like the classical agencies who are just providing these services, they will die because there is no other way. So there, Canva. So Canva is kind of dead already, because everything that designers were doing with Canva now, like they can do inside ChatGPT, right? They can create graphics, they can create anything there. And then they can use Gemini, or they can use Higgsfield AI, like for graphics, all these kind of things. I am 100% sure that these agencies who want to stay in this business, they will need to pivot. So, and then the pivot is the value addition. So what exactly are you providing on top of this? So for example, people like myself, they are not easy to replace because they come with tons of experience, like picking up products, product research, like these methods. I think there has to be some value that you are providing to your customers, to your clients, right? Because I do it for myself, so I can spot trends, I can see this, like the whole data. And on the other side, I think the cost of managing per unit price or per customer price, or the revenue that we make from one customer, that has already decreased. I think that we all need to accept this. I think those days are gone where you could, like just provide an ads management service, like for $5,000, and then you do nothing else, right? So there has to be, like a complete package. What else you are providing? Because these people can run their own ads on their own. I think another success would be how quickly these agencies can implement AI in all of their operations, and how these agencies can manage hundreds of brands with, like a couple of people. So we saw this coming early on. We automated a lot of our operations, even though we are, like small team, 31 people. 1,000+ brands, they are just on the agency side, and then we have thousands of students, like who are building these businesses with us on the education and like coaching side, right? Because we use AI for everything, we are still managing this with, like not a big team. And I think like people or agencies who are realizing this early on, they will survive, but there has to be some additional value. It's not just, like an ad campaign. What else you are offering? Like, are you offering a product research service as well? Are you offering something on top of this? Are you building a business? Are you helping with the business? Like, are you setting up the processes? Are you implementing the AI for an e-commerce store? Like so that they can manage their businesses, like with a fewer people. Are you providing this kind of service? So you have to, like open new services. You have to offer more services, and you have to stay creative if you want to survive.
Fantastic. Zahir, this is great stuff. I loved hearing about your early struggles. I think that really is going to land for a lot of entrepreneurs, and then all the way through the evolution of this great business, this multifaceted business you built, and the formula-driven model that you have now. So really appreciate the insights. What's the best way for people to reach you to find out more about what you do and potentially enlist your services?
Yeah, so Conzia.com is our website, Conzia, Conzia.com. I can also drop the link here for your audience. People can also reach out to me on LinkedIn and also on my Instagram. I also run a YouTube channel where we put a lot of, like content, free content, where people can watch this content. They can learn, like they can learn these frameworks, they can learn these methods. Anyone can search us on YouTube with Conzia, and they will see my YouTube channel. Plus we have meetups as well where people can join us. I will also drop our meetup link for your audience so that people can, like join our free meetups and learn as well. And thank you so much, Stefan, for having me as well. Was indeed a great pleasure. Humbled to be on your podcast, on your show, and looking forward as well to staying in contact.
Fantastic. Thanks so much.